Hi, this is Donna with the Waldorf Connection, and I'm so excited to be bringing you this training called How to Bring Waldorf-Inspired Living and Learning to Your Young Child. So, maybe you've decided to homeschool your child, you're considering homeschooling your preschooler, maybe you've got a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, and all of your neighbors and all of your friends have either sent their children off to preschool or are talking about sending theirs off to preschool next year. What do? You feel like you need something. Now, if you've come to Waldorf and you've heard anything about Waldorf, you may be out there looking online and trying to find out what to do, and you've come across a lot of information that says, well, you don't really have to start official school until the child is in first grade, which is usually around age 6.5 to 7. So, great. But in the meantime, what do you do? What do you do with your child when they're old enough to really start doing something structured, yet they're not ready to really start true academics? Well, that's great, and I'm here to kind of guide you through that and how to do that. On this training video, we're going to talk about the type of homeschooler you might be falling into, these traps that you might be falling into right now if you are out there trying to figure it out on your own and just really don't have any guidance and are not sure what to do. You could be falling into one of these, and don't feel bad, because I totally fell into one of these, and I'll tell you, when I get to it. But the first type is the researcher, and that is the mom or dad who is out there looking at blogs, reading books, checking every resource and every different place they can to try to get the information, to try to piece something together, to try to find that guidance, and feel like they have to constantly be getting more and more. Maybe they just can't make sense of it. It's overwhelming, or it's not falling together. So they keep looking for that piece, that magical thing that's going to kind of tie everything together, and they can finally stop researching and running around and say, I've got it. And a lot of times that won't happen. So they're trying to figure it on your own, and just kind of keep piling more and more information on is what I call the researcher. Number 2 is the laser focused. So perhaps you did find something, or you've got sort of something in mind of a plan, and maybe you found a curriculum for like a kindergarten age, and you're going to go ahead and use that, and you say, I've got it right here, I'm just going to follow this. A lot of times the curriculum that is out there is just a guide, and it may give you like the week to week or month to month or even day to day, like do this day, do this another day, whatever, and kind of have it all broken out. But that's just one piece of having this Waldorf-inspired life and learning, because it doesn't give you all the other background things that you really need. Setting up your child's environment, making sure you have a good rhythm, having the correct toys and scheduling going on, and the structure and festivals and all those things. So what you have there may be just one piece of that puzzle, and it may be fine in some ways, but you're not getting the full picture, and your child is not experiencing the full magic of what Waldorf-inspired schooling can really be. Number 3 is fly by the seat of my pants and I'll wing it. And that is one who's just sort of making it up as you go. That sounds good, let's try that. Okay, that didn't work, let's try this over here. No, we'll do that. And you're just sort of, you don't really have a plan, and you've got a little bit of knowledge perhaps, but it's just all kind of nothing's organized. There's no true plan going on here, and you're just sort of making it up as you go. There's no consistency with your days, there's no structure, and perhaps your child's even kind of looking a little odd about the whole thing, because it seems like every day is something totally different, and you're not very confident, and you're not sure what you're doing, and it's totally coming across to your child. And maybe even some of the other members of your household are kind of looking like, I don't know if this is exactly the path that needs to be taken. And that can be hard, because if you're trying to get support from your family or spouse for homeschooling, yet you don't really have a clear plan, It can be really hard because everyone looks to you as that you're knowing what to do, and if you don't, that can be something that could really throw a wrench into your plan for homeschooling. Number 4 is the copycat, and this is something I really fell into in the very beginning when I really had no idea, and that is to copy what other people are doing. So perhaps you've got a great blog that you love, maybe 2 different blogs, and you see they've got their plans laid out on what they're doing, in their daily rhythm and how they've got their whole life or their whole day scheduled, and you're like, great, somebody's already done all of the work. I will just copy that. And I remember doing this when I first heard about rhythm and how it was all going to work. I wrote out my day, scheduling every 15 minutes, what I was going to do. 7:15, get up. 7:30, get a shower. 7:45, have breakfast. And it only lasted about halfway through the first day when I realized I couldn't do that. And that's what happens to most of us when we do that, because our family is different. You are different. Your child is different. And just copying what someone else does, it's fine to get inspiration from others and to take some of their ideas, but to just go, okay, it's all done for me, I'll just follow that. It rarely works because there's too many differences in everyone's lives, and you really need to know what fits you and what fits your child and how to bring that into your life and make it your own. And number 5 is called the hodgepodge, or the smorgasbord, where you're really just taking little bits and pieces from everywhere and trying to piece them together. I'll use this person's rhythm, I'll use this person's curriculum, I'll use this over here, and I'll use this over here. And again, there's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from others. It's just when you are unclear and really sure of what you're doing, it can be sort of just add to the overwhelm and the frustration because nothing seems to be fitting together, and you're just getting parts of the pieces of the puzzle instead of the entire picture. And again, that just adds, because you already know there are things that you have to do if you want to bring Waldorf-inspired education to your child. It's way more involved than some of the other forms of education, and there is a learning curve to all of this. And as brilliant as it all is, in the beginning, it can be a little tough and a little overwhelming when you just are getting started. So if you can let me know, I would love to have comments below on which one of these you see yourself fall into, or maybe have a tendency to, or maybe you did kind of fall into one of these. I did a little picture of that hodgepodge as well, but really I was copying because I didn't know anything else. I didn't know what else to do, and I had to do something. So anyway, I'd love to hear from you as far as if you can relate to one of these types. And we'll be moving forward with more information. I will be giving an extended training talk Thursday, February the 6th. Where I will go through really the 4 core areas that you need to have set up and have in place to successfully and confidently bring this type of education to your younger child. And it's totally doable. It's totally amazing. You just need the steps and you just need the guidance. And so I'm going to be going through a lot of that. And I appreciate your questions. You're welcome to bring that, and also comment below, questions below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.